All right, hello friends. So we just booked our activities for our very first cruise, which is super exciting, but it comes with a bunch of questions, a bunch of like little challenges here and there. So if you are a first-time cruiser or an experienced cruiser that still feels like they're running around with a chicken with their head cut off, then this video is for you and you should keep watching. All right, so if you're a first-time cruiser, then you need to know that 75 days out, midnight Florida time, you can start to book your port activities as well as like on-ship activities for Disney. So at midnight Florida time, my family, along with like 6,000 other people, logged in to the Disney Cruise Line website to book these excursions. Now, let me preface by saying my family is a planet family. We plan, like we're a planning family. You get it. We do the research, okay? I've watched every single YouTube video. I've watched every TikTok, Instagram, Reddit post. Read the Reddit post, whatever, you get it. So anyway, I even wrote down the scripts, people. So anyway, we are the planners. We research stuff, we learn stuff, we go in there and we're like, all right, I got this 100%. And there were still some things that we were like, oh, no one told us that. So these are the 5 things, kind of all wrapped up into 5 different categories for what we learned this first experience. Okay, so first things first, linking accounts. This should be done prior. I think once you all have paid for your cruise, then you can start to link. But you should link accounts, especially if you're in like a larger group. We've got 5 or 6 different rooms. And so if you link your accounts together, then for the dinners, you can all eat together and you're not having to sit with random people. So that was why we wanted to link. And then you just need their reservation ID, their last name, and then their date of birth. And then you can link to each other. You link staterooms together, not people. That's a tip. Now, make sure that you are doing this with people that you trust, because once you are all linked, I can go in and cancel my entire family's reservations, which is a lot of power to have and a little bit scary sometimes. So make sure that you're doing it with people that you trust, that you love, that you know won't do that. Yeah, that's kind of the downside of linking reservations, I gotta say. Okay, now you can also only link 4 staterooms, so like your stateroom plus 3 others. So we have, is it 5 or 6? It's 5. So what we did was we ended up cross-linking. I'll sort of show like a map of what I mean by cross-linking. So we cross-linked, and that actually kind of tricked the Disney system. We called them and we're like, hey, are these accounts linked? And they said, yep, we guys have you all, and the system is linked. So that was a huge plus. Yeah, that's the next tip. Cross-link if you have a bunch of different groups. Okay, there is something with linked accounts that we thought that we could do, but we couldn't do. And that was booking reservations for multiple staterooms at the same time. So for example, if my brother and I are in 2 separate rooms, but we both want to do the stingrays at the same time together, we can't. Well, you can kind of. I can't go in and book for both him plus me. I can go in and book for my own stateroom, but then let's say I do it for 1:30. I then have to go back up to the top, change my stateroom, find the stingrays for 1:30, and then book him as well. So we ended up getting on a conference call with everybody. That was what worked for us, but that was kind of a downside we saw, because it could be within that 10-second window of me changing rooms, the stingrays are all booked up. So overall, linked accounts are great, but there is some tweaks, some limitations to it as well. Overall, we liked it, but we're a very close family. We trust each other. So we liked it, but depending on your family, it might not be the best for you. Okay, point number 2. Whenever it actually comes time to book your reservations, excursions, whatnot, it all comes down to like how often you have cruised with the Disney family. So this was our first time. So depending on your level, I'll put it right here, Depends on how far out you can book. So since this was just our first time, we were like the last group that could book. And so with that, a bunch of stuff already gets filled up. So there were a handful of things, like I knew I wouldn't be able to get like the cabanas, certain brunch stuff at like the fancy restaurants. So here's kind of what we think. Through all of the research that we had done, you can either book through your phone or you can book on the website on your computer. And both should be the exact same thing. It was not, for me at least. So like I'm sitting there with my phone in one hand, my computer is right here, and right at 12 Florida time, was 11 our time, you get it. Right at that time, my computer switched over and I could start doing, selecting activities, excursions, and everything. My phone took 6 minutes before it actually showed up. So my recommendation in the future is to always book it on the computer versus your phone. For me, it loaded faster. I have no idea why. Plus, I'm not sure if anyone else was having this problem, but our phones were like logging us out. And so we kept having to log back in, which was super annoying and frustrating, but it was happening for everybody. So maybe that's just a feature of the app. No. Okay, now we're getting into like my serious notes. And that is prioritizing, like, so once it hits 12, all right, either certain things you've got to just jump to, because they fill up super quickly. Things like the Stingray. What else did? Jet skis booked up super, super fast. Hold on, let's just go through everything. So cabanas, you're not going to get those. It's sad, I know. I prayed, I dreamed, I hoped. There were no cabanas left. The spa actually booked up super, super quickly. I could still get reservations, but for like late at night. I booked them. I'll let you know if it's worth it or not, but those booked up super fast. What else do they have? Paolo and Remy. We're sailing on the Fantasy, so those are the two like fancy restaurants. Those brunches sold out prior to like, we didn't even have a chance. I was bummed about that. So the brunches fill up super quickly. The dinners didn't. Those were still widely available. Spa was booked. The nursery, I went ahead and booked my kiddos too. So I booked that for one day. Didn't have any issues with it. The point is, like anything like the mixology classes, wine tastings, whiskey tastings, those were completely booked. So just like kind of know what you really, really want to do, and what is going to book up really fast. All right, we're on part 4 now, if anyone's keeping track. Different excursions, that we are doing, that we saw that were a little bit weird. For example, jet skis. Jet skis are not called jet skis when you are booking them through the app. It's like something water sport or something. I'll put the screenshot right here. But we had read a Reddit post saying that they haven't had jet skis on Castaway Cay for like 3 years. And we were like, okay, like that sucks. So we wrote them off. I think we did like the Stingrays instead. Then as we're like scrolling through, we're like, wait a second. This is a picture of a jet ski, and it's called like something water sport. I forgot what it was. I'll put the screenshot here. So anyway, stuff might be named something weird. I don't even, like, how is that a tip? I don't know, but the jet skis are weird. They're labeled weird. All right, this needs to be talked about more, because it's not. For all of the excursions, there is a limit based on how old your kiddo is. Most of it's 5 to 8 to 10. So like if you've got like a toddler, there are no excursions for them except for one, the boat where you can go and look at the fishies, the glass bottom boat. So that is the one thing that we booked at Castaway Cay for our kiddo, but that is the only one. There needs to be more, but there's not. The other one that my husband and I are doing is the parasailing. And there were 4 time slots left that we could pick from by the time it came to us being able to book. So it books up pretty quickly. The paddleboarding I wasn't able to do because it booked up so quickly, like within like 5 minutes. Okay, the last tip, and it's annoying, it's frustrating, but it is a good feature control that Disney has. And that is that you cannot book multiple excursions during the same time frame. So we got on and we were like, let's just grab everything. Like grab everything, grab what you can, and we can, fully decide later. We're on like a high. And you can't do that. You can't have your stingrays at 1:30 to 2 and then also try and book paddle boarding from 1 to 2. They don't let you do that, which is smart. It's a good control that they have, but yeah, you can't do that. We ran into that issue. It literally like grays it out so that it looks like it's sold out, but it's not sold out. You just can't book it yet. So anyway, fun fact. So anyway, those are the 5 things that we learned during our first time trying to book stuff for our Disney cruise. If you have any more like tips and tricks, put them in the comments, help each other out. We're going in October, so we still have a couple of more months to do some serious research. But yeah, give me all of your tips in the comments, and make sure to like, comment, what's the other one, and subscribe to this video so that YouTube knows that you like it and more people can see it. Okay, bye everyone.